Hello, welcome back to Shelabobby Handmade. My name is Caitlin. I come to you from the eastern side of North Carolina. I am known as Shelabobby just about everywhere on the internet, so you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, and so on through Shelabobby. Yeah, welcome back. It has been a crazy 2 weeks for me as far as knitting. So let's just get started. Let's just jump right into the knitting content. I have one finished object for you, and that is a pair of socks. So these are my Cats in Space socks, which you would have seen last episode. And this charm is where I was on the first sock, finished that sock, and second pair of socks, or second sock to make a pair of socks. So yeah, these are my finished object for the episode. I finished these in the nick of time for summer sock camp, so these are officially my 14th pair of socks for summer sock camp. I started these socks on the 25th of August and cast them off on the 31st of August at like 11:03 p.m. Eastern time, so with just a little bit of time left to post them and get them entered in for summer sock camp. So a little bit about these. The main color is Area 51 fibers in their sturdy alien base, which I believe is 8515, but I could be wrong. I don't have the tag in here with me. And then the mini that I used for the heels, cuff, and toes is just a dark navy blue that I got from my local yarn shop. I did 15 2x2 round, 15 of 2x2 rib for the cuff. The heel is just a standard heel flap and gusset, and then I did do a round toe on this sock. I think it's a 68 stitch count, just a vanilla sock, no pattern. I'm kind of adapting my own vanilla recipe, so just a vanilla sock for myself. So that is the finished object for today. The rest is works in progress. I'm going to be checking things in this basket. That's my basket that I transfer my items from inside out here to the shed for recording. So that's where everything's going to be going. So works in progress. What happens when summer sock camp is over? Apparently all of the garments, just all the garments. I do have my emotional support sock, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but my first work in progress is going to be the outline tee. This is by Jessie Made Designs, and I am working on the body. This is a bottom-up construction, so I believe the last time that you saw this on the podcast, I had just completed the ribbing. In fact, here's my charm. It's a little pumpkin charm. This is actually earrings that I got from Oh That's Neat. I'll link her shop down below. She doesn't sell her earrings as progress keepers, but I love her designs, and a lot of times she'll have mismatching earrings, so they'll be similar in design, like these. She had a pumpkin, a zombie, a cat, and a ghost. That was a 4-pack of earrings, and you could mix and match them. So it worked perfect for progress keepers, but I also have some Christmas ones, which you will of course see when the Christmas season comes up. But I also have some that are matching, and I just use them on different projects. My mom also steals them and wears them as earrings. So check her out if you like little simple, not even simple, like she does pretty detailed designs, and they're lightweight and beautiful. So that is this little progress keeper. I don't know why my words are not coming out right today. So anyway, I have been working on the body of this, and I've gotten quite a bit of work done on the body. It keeps curling because it is of course stockinette, but I have gotten a couple inches done on the body of this. It is slow going because we all know I am not a fan of Body Island and unfortunately you cannot switch to sleeves when you're going bottom up, so you just gotta slog through it. You just gotta go through it. Just some details about this. I'm using Malabrigo sock in Ivy, and I am alternating skeins. So on the inside here, I'm just carrying them up. I twist them when I get to a new row, and I just twist them up. You can tell a little bit, I don't know if it's going to be visible on camera, but you can tell a little bit here that there's a tighter stitch. But that doesn't bother me. I've done this in socks before, and it works itself out, or it's just not very visible because it kind of looks like a seam. And I believe this is the back of the garment, so I wouldn't mind there being kind of like a seam down the back. It's going to have a drop stitch on either side of it, so not a big deal, and definitely needed for the differences in color. So this is the yarn that I'm using, Malabrigo sock in Ivy. Of course, this one is much more of a brighter yellow, and this one is more of a bluey green. And I have a third skein that is also on the yellower side, so I'll work that one in when I get to it. That project is living in my Fat Squirrel Speaks bag. Beautiful. There's going to be a lot of Fat Squirrel today, so just buckle in. There's a lot of Fat Squirrel today. So that is my outline tee. I don't think I have any other notes about that, so chuck it in the basket. The next works in progress is in another Fat Squirrel bag in one of her fall collections last year. Love this bag, so I grabbed it, and I am working on the Tolsta tee. We talked about this in the episode last time 2 weeks ago, and I said that I was going to swatch that evening and see if I could get a good swatch for it. Got it, cast it on, so here we are. Before I show you the garment itself, I'm using Skein Cocaine Baby Grand Hot Sock in the colorway Iconic. This particular skein has over 2,000 yards in it, so it's quite large. There's a ginormous cake of yarn. It is dark black, can lean a little bit blue in some lights, but it is ginormous, huge cake, never-ending ball. It's fantastic. That is what I am using, and then this is where I'm at. So I haven't got very far, and that's explained in the other garment that I have as to why I don't have too much going on. But this is the Tolsta tee by Rebecca Clow, or Clow. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. It's pronounced both ways online, so I'm not exactly sure which way, but Rebecca Clow, also known as the Craybear here on YouTube. This is her Tolsta tee. And of course, this is black yarn. We are not going to be able to see much detail on a video, but I have the raglan increases going on here on this side and right in here. It is just going to be a simple raglan with these white speckles going all over. I am going to make it long sleeve, so it will be a sweater rather than a t-shirt. But yeah, still working on the increases for the raglan, working in the round. It's going beautifully. Enjoying this quite a bit. I haven't mentioned before, but I am using ChiaoGoo needles on everything. I've tried other needles, but ChiaoGoo just seems to be ones that I like. So most of mine are the interchangeable stainless steel needles. That's my go-to. These are on my ChiaoGoo Forte needles, which are wooden. This is the original design. I know they're coming out with a second version that has a carbon fiber core, and then it has the metal tips, but this is the wooden ones. Of course, spooky skeletons for my stitch stoppers, and then I do have a charm on here. This is by Forest Charm, if I'm not mistaken. The beginning of round marker that I have here, the little star, that is by Forest Charm. She is a North Carolina charm designer. I'll link her below. And then this is another charm by Oh That's Neat. Another set that had like Boo and Haunt You and things like that that were mismatched, but of course perfect for progress keepers. I think that is all that I have to say about the Tolsta tea. Oh, just a note, the Tolsta tea comes in 2 different versions but is included in one pattern. So the pattern that is visible on Ravelry, and that will be linked below, says that it is a DK weight, but when you purchase the pattern it also comes with a fingering weight version, and that is the version that I am making. So I'm making the fingering weight version of the Tolsta tea. So that is all for that project. That was loud, sorry. Pop that one in the bucket. Oh, found some yarn barf. Just toss that in there too. All right, so the next one is going to be my emotional support sock. I am not going to show you the bag that it is in because that will be included in the acquisitions section, but I will show you the sock. So these are my Most Ardently socks. This is by Kelly Menzies, also known as Roro and Cades on YouTube and as a Ravelry designer. This pattern is a lace pattern. It is beautiful. I think I personally have made the mistake of pairing a variegated, I didn't think it was going to be this variegated yarn for a lace pattern. I don't think that this yarn shows off the pattern very well, but I do think that this pattern does very well for this sock, if that makes, or for this yarn, if that makes sense. Because I love the beautiful texture that it is creating, but it is not showing off the pattern detail. So I love how the yarn looks in this pattern, but I don't think that it shows off this pattern very well. So I'm going to be making these socks again in a solid color, probably one of my acquisitions. I'll show you that in a moment. So yeah, this is just my emotional support sock. It is a little shorty sock as the pattern describes it for the shorty socks. That is what I'm going with. Writing it 2 patterns so far. I'm currently in the gusset decreases, so haven't got very far. It is just when I need a sock, it's there, but I haven't worked on it too much. The yarn, let me see if I can find the tag here. The yarn is by a dyer that is a North Carolina dyer, so local dyer to me as far as state. And she is unfortunately no longer dyeing that I know of. Sheep Dipped Dye Works. And these were called the 2 at a time socks. Sorry, it's ripped there. 7525 in the colorway Purple Haze. And I'll show you the cake that is not attached currently. So these came in 2 50-gram cakes. And so I wound those up, and I'm just gonna use up 1 cake completely and then bring in this one because I don't need a full 50 grams, and then I'll use the remainder for my stripy blankets, whatever I want to use it from there. But yes, so that is the yarn. Unfortunately, she is no longer dyeing from what I hear, so these are very special. So that is my Most Ardently socks. Again, not a main work in progress, just something that I will work on occasionally. So I'm going to set that bag in the acquisitions file because we'll need to talk about it soon. Oops, I left the tag out. Yeah, that's all for that one. The next one is my last work in progress. It lives in this bag, which I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite bags. It is one of the oldest bags in my collection, and unfortunately the maker no longer makes. As soon as my mom purchased it for me for my birthday 2 years ago, and as soon as I purchased it, she went on hiatus and has yet to return. So sadly, can't get any more of these bags, but it is one of my favorite. It is by Lily Blooms. See if I can get that tag to show up on there. But it is a waxed bottom. You can see a Charlie bite on here somewhere, where she got mad that the bag was in her way and decided to move it. And then just squirrels and rabbits. It's a drawstring bag, very heavy duty strap. I am so sad that we can't get these bags anymore because I absolutely love it. So in here is a very special project. After the podcast last week, can't remember if I did it before the podcast, or not last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember if I did it before the podcast that I recorded or right after. I believe it was after I started the Tolsta tea. Rebecca Clow, she posted a tester call for her Stick Seasons sweater. And I had been watching for this test knit to come out because it is a gorgeous garment. This is a gorgeous sweater and right up my alley. I'm a person that is not a really frilly girly girl, so I'm not into the really feminine style blouses and sweaters that come out. I am more of a masculine leaning sweater wearer. You know, simple raglans, some texture every once in a while. I really love a good texture on a sleeve, and then plain stockinette on the body. But this sweater called to me since she's shown the texture on her Instagram and on her podcast. So I jumped on the application, filled it out. I had yarn to go with it, and she reported that there were over 600 applicants for this test, and that was her biggest test call. And so Tolsta tea was on the needles. I wasn't going to be too disappointed. I had the yarn for it. I would make it when it come out. Was not expecting to get selected for it, but last Saturday, while I was sitting at my local yarn shop knitting with my friends, I got added into the test knit. So I am test knitting the Stick Season sweater by Rebecca Clow, or Clow. Again, sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And I jumped on it. Like I said, I had the yarn, so I'm going to show you that first. So this is Explorer Knits and Fibers. I'll show you the label first. Explorer Knits and Fibers, Rocky DK, and the colorway, I believe we decided this is Avenor. As far as I remember, it was part of her Winter Solstice collection this past winter, and it meant like reliving memories or looking at the past to be able to move forward. Anyway, beautiful colorway. It is what I would call a blurple. It is a blue purple depending on the light that you are in. It looks purple or it looks like a dusty blue, but I love it, of course. So let me show you where I am at. So I have been really focusing on this particular project since I got access to the pattern on Monday. So I am officially 7 days in today for this project, and I joined in the round last night. So this is an all over textured textured yoke, and a beautiful ribbed type texture. It's so squishy, works up so quick. Like as you're going through the repeats of the pattern, you just don't realize that it's going that quickly. And then you're done with the back panel. It's going to have this beautiful ribbed detail. Let's see if I can get that to show off. There we go. Beautiful ribbed detail. It's on the sleeve lining, and then I don't have enough, but it's going to join to make a ribbed detail down the body of the sweater. You will pick up the neckline and the sleeves, and the rest of the body is in stockinette. So I have completed the textured portion of the sweater, and so now it's body island, of course. So knitting in stockinette in the round and just adding that ribbing detail on the side, and then picking up the sleeves. There's some short rows for the sleeves, I believe, just to give it some nice shaping, and then just stockinette. So most likely I will finish up this little ball of yarn that I have left. This is my second skein, and I will finish this ball up in the body of the sweater, and then I will swap to sleeves just to break up the monotony of the body island. So that is this project. I will show you my little, oops, there's a me hair, not a Charlie hair. I'm using this charm, which you have seen before on my socks. It is a little ghost mushroom. I believe this is by Simply Serving. I will link it below. And then I have another beginning of round, which is another one of those stars by Forest Charm. And then ghosty stitch stoppers. So that is my test knit and my most worked on work in progress. So again, this is a test knit, so it's not currently out, but I will definitely let you guys know if you want to follow progress on this project, or follow progress of when it will be released and things like that. Follow my Instagram, or you can also follow the Creabea's Instagram. She's been posting information there, and she will definitely let you know when it is scheduled to be released. Alright, for acquisitions, I don't have too many. The first one is the Yarnable subscription for September. I have been a member with Yarnable for just over a year now. I think I'm getting close to a year and a half. And it is one of my favorite subscription boxes. It's the only one that I've kept for this long and continue to keep. I don't have any other subscription boxes at this time, but I love the extras that come with it. Very rarely am I like, I can't use this, or if I can't use it, I typically can give it to someone who will, if it's not something that I particularly can use. But the colorways are always so interesting. Even if, the reason why I love it so much is that even if I wouldn't go into a yarn store and pick that specific color out for myself, because I typically lean more towards blues and greens and purples, but you know, they'll give me a bright pink one and it's beautiful, and I will turn it into a sock. Even if the colorway is not for me, I can make that sock into something for my family members, but trust me, I will make a sock out of anything. So the colorway does not matter. I do not have a preference as far as what I make socks out of, or what I will wear. But when I buy yarn, I typically lean more towards the blues and greens. So if you have not gotten your Yarnable subscription, look away for a few minutes. I will not be describing the color or not naming what the colorway would be called, because that will give away the color. But I will be showing the extras and talking about those, and then I will be showing the yarn, but look away for just a few moments. So here is the yarn, and I love this. This is so me. Here's the label, and it will show the colorway there, which you'll understand why I don't say that out loud if someone is trying to look at it. But this is gonna be Most Ardently socks in that lace pattern. Yeah, that's it. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pop that in there. You're free to look now. The yarn is gone, but I am going to be showing some of the extras, so if you don't want to see those, then skip ahead a little bit as well. The first extra is this magnetic bookmark. It's not hoarding if it's yarn, and it's just a paper bookmark that you can mark your place in a book or pattern or whatnot. So that is the first one. It is by Yarnable itself, I believe, so it just comes on this little card. Then we got this post-it note that says just one more row and has a cute little fox, just a light blue that doesn't show up too well on camera, but just a light blue sticky note, just to write some notes on. And then these, this is from Girl of All Work, which are some page flags in floral prints. Again, marking patterns, things like that. This is perfect. So those are the extras that came in this month's bag. It's in a bag. It comes in a little mailer bag, but box is typical naming. The other acquisition is, of course, the Fat Squirrel. She had a spooky release last weekend, and I had to jump on these ghosty bags. She had another release of fall prints this weekend that we're in now, of the September 10th, if you're curious, and those were beautiful, but these were on the way, and so I resisted the other fall bags. But look at this. Look how happy the ghosties are. So I believe this is the large wedge, or no, this isn't the large wedge. This is the large wedge. This is the sweater bag. It's not the Aran sweater bag because that's the big one. This is the sweater bag. Anyway, sweater bag with ghosties in this blue, beautiful denim, ruggedy deliciousness. I cannot wait to put one of my sweaters in here. Most likely the Sticks season sweater will go in there. Once it gets a little bit bigger, I'll pop it over to this one so that it is ready for the spooky season. And then, of course, I had to get the matching sock bag. So this is a purple ghosty sock bag from the Fat Squirrel. This is my first sock bag from her, surprisingly. And I love the size of it. It's perfect. This has 2 of the 50-gram cakes in it. Perfect size. Probably could fit a small shawl. Hat, of course, would go in here. You know, glove, mitts, those sort of things would work perfect in here. So those are all of my acquisitions. So let's talk about some lifey stuff. Just a little bit, not too much has gone on in my world. I have been working and knitting and nothing crazy has happened. We have had a tropical storm. It came through not last week but the week before. By the time it got to us, very thankfully, it was just a little bit of wind and rain, and so nothing major, no damage in our area. We didn't lose power or anything like that, so very thankful for that, as I know it caused a lot of damage in the southern states. So I was very thankful that when it got to us, it was not as damaging. Other than that, I have been continuing to walk for work and have been continuing on my book. Just a little bit of information about the book. It's called The Messy Middle. It is very interesting, even if you're not a business person or a manager or in a startup or a company that's currently growing at a rapid pace or trying to grow at a rapid pace. It is still a good book for the knowledge that's in there. You can also apply a lot of the examples that he provides, especially earlier in the book, to life in general and not just a business. And then of course there is some business information in there as well that is just really good information on team building and making hard decisions when those decisions need to be made. And so it's a really good book if you have any interest in team building, business startups, anything like that. Give it a read. It's a really good listen, if you're on audiobook or if you're reading. I have about 4.5 hours left on that, so I expect that I'll finish it this coming week with walking, and so looking forward to the next book as well. The boss is deciding on that. So that's all that has been happening in my world, and I think it's been quite a short episode, so hopefully that is okay. Just kind of ran through what I'm currently working on and the exciting test knit. I'm ready to go inside and work on that a little bit more this afternoon. So thank you, as always, for coming and clicking on my thumbnail or clicking on my video and your subscription. Thank you to the new subscribers that I have. Welcome. Again, the numbers completely blow me away. It's very overwhelming at times when I look at it, but thank you. That's all I can say. I appreciate each and every one of you, and if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button down below if you want to see future episodes and updates on these projects and upcoming projects. Also click the like button to let me know that you enjoyed and that you have been watching. Also, I really enjoy the comments that have been coming through. I enjoy reading whether it's what you're working on or your view on certain things that we discussed. So please comment down below if you feel led to. I always read them and enjoy them, so thank you for that. And I will see you in about 2 weeks with some updates on these items, maybe some finished objects. That would be pretty cool. And I will leave you with some videos of the bean, the Charlie bean, because she is going to hopefully be in all of my videos in some way or another. So I will leave you with a video of her playing with a new toy. See you guys next time.